Africa is set to become one of the fastest growing aviation regions in the next 20 years, with an annual expansion of nearly 5%, according to the International Air Transport Association. Compared to other world regions, aircrafts in Africa tend to be older. While older aircrafts cost less, higher fuel consumption rates and maintenance costs exist as bottlenecks. Nigerian airline Peace aims to address this with the recent firm order of 10 Embraer 195-E2 jets, making it the first fleet order in Africa. New Central's business editor had a sit-down with Peace spokesperson and corporate communications manager Chris Iwarah on the new order and what it means for Nigeria and the African aviation industry.
Very exciting times for Peace and the Nigerian aviation space. I mean, you've just gone into a partnership with Embraer, which is a big deal. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of speculations around the figures and the number of the fleet itself. Okay. So we have you here to sort of clarify a few things for us. So could you please speak a bit more to that?
Yes, I want to say we are quite excited. It's not just an Peace thing. What we're doing is for Nigeria, is for Africa. And we're quite excited that our vision gradually is unfolding and is being realized. Now quickly to the number of orders, the aircraft we've ordered. There's a bit of confusion. Now two things were said in our statement on that. We said we made a firm order for 10 Embraer E195 E2. And then below you see where we said we have purchase rights for 20 orders. So you will be right depending on where you're coming from. If you say 10 orders, or we've ordered 10 aircraft, or we've ordered 30. It's all a package making, coming up to $2.12 billion.
If we look at the number of countries that have actually ordered from this particular fleet, there are 5 of them around the world, and Nigeria is the first. So in that's Africa. Really, really exciting. But I'm more interested in knowing what informed that decision.
We started off with a set of aircraft when we started in 2014, 24th of October. We started with 7 aircraft. But since then, we've gone on to add more aircraft. Before this latest order, we were 37. Now, but if you look at our airports, especially in Nigeria, you see that you have to do something really smart. Before this order, we already had 6 Embraer 145, 50-seater 145 in our fleet. And this was informed because of the airports we have here. Some of these airports you can't go into because of the facility, the runway you have. So when you have a challenge, it becomes becomes a big problem for you to handle. Then again, you talk of the nature of facilities you have. Sometimes you have a technical challenge and you need to do some recovery. If you need to move in a 737, a Boeing 737 into that kind of operation, then you'll be losing a whole lot. Because since you did not schedule that aircraft originally to do a particular route, and you need that to do a rescue operation in that environment, that means the aircraft has to fly from one destination to another empty. So you can imagine an aircraft flying from Lagos, for instance, to Abuja, empty. Then you have to burn a lot of fuel. So now we went down to the 50-seater. So when we went to the 50-seater, you can then minimize your loss, minimize the cost of such operations. That is one. Then the world is growing. Now we want to be able, as much as possible, to diversify the kind of aircraft types we have in our fleet.
Does this 195 E2 fleet give you more accessibility into certain routes?
We are trying to look at a situation where you minimize your cost too. The fuel efficiency of 195 is really great. It's something you want to try out. Then you talk of maintenance. So you are in a world where you have to reduce your costs, minimize your costs, make the best of what you have. So that also has informed what we are doing. And of course, it's such a beautiful plane. We hope that Nigerians, Africans, and the flying public in general will be grateful for it.
How exactly would the average Air Peace traveler benefit from it from an economic point?
We pride ourselves as an airline that has risen from Africa, risen from Nigeria to ensure seamless connectivity. So most people are not so concerned about the cost, the fare. They're concerned about, one, will I get to where I'm going on time? We pride ourselves in terms of our on-time performance. We changed all that when we came in 2014. It was a situation where a lot of people were delayed for hours. They had no choice. We came in and we said we can change all that. We caused that revolution in the system. That has increased our fleet size. If we take everything in the package, that will increase our fleet size to about 67 aircraft. And that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. Today, Air Peace does about 2/3 of all flights in Nigeria. About 2/3. We fly to 14 domestic destinations and 5 regional destinations. Now that we're increasing our fleet, that's an advantage. And also, don't forget that this is a brand new aircraft. If others around the world fly brand new aircraft, we think that our people also deserve to do same.
So quality and safety is at the forefront of Air Peace's mandate for the Africa airspace.
Definitely.
That's very good to know. Now I want to talk a bit more about this deal. Are you bound contractually to Embraer in terms of the future and sustainability, in terms of, would you, for instance, want to try the Airbus? Airbus A220 is a direct competitor to the fleet that you've just ordered. Are there any reasons you didn't go that direction? And could you possibly try them in the future in terms of like just working with other people as well?
I can tell you that we are open to anything. We are open to manufacturers around the world. We are open to everybody. Of course, I told you we started with Boeing. We started with Boeing. From Boeing, we are looking at Embraer. We started with 145, the 50-seater 145. We've increased that. So, of course, if it encourages safety, if it gives our customers greater experience, why not? We're open to anything. We're open to great ideas, great innovations. So we're not going to stop or restrict ourselves to 1 or 2 manufacturers. We're open. I want to assure our customers that our vision really is to be world's best airline out of Africa. That's our vision. And this vision drives us in anything we do. Shortly, we'll start our international operations. We're flying shortly in a matter of 1 or 2 months. We'll be going to Sharjah. The world is excited. What we promise at this moment is that we're never going to fail Africa. We're not going to fail Nigeria. One thing we want to do, we're not going to hide our Nigerianness. We're not going to hide our being Africa. We're looking at our uniforms. We're looking at the menu on our flight. We really want to tell the world that Africa has come of age.